So the first problem is I've been listening to sports talk radio. And that's a problem. Okay. Like I didn't know I shouldn't do that, but I did it. I have to drive my kids around a lot. So it's either that or the Moana soundtrack. And like, the latter has been like, every day for the last 4 years, it feels like. So I get to break it up a little bit. Okay. And because I can't get KNBR on the car radio, I get WFAN. And it's amazing to me that this town can't wait to fire everyone except for Buck Showalter. I don't understand it. Like the Mets suck right now. They're terrible. Okay. They're unwatchable. All of their flaws are coming to the surface. They're ready to fire everybody associated with the New York Mets except for Buck Showalter.
Why
should
I
just don't understand it.
Why should they fire him?
I don't know. And I'm not even advocating that they should. I'm just wondering. What has this guy done?
Why would you listen to sports talk radio when you can listen to well thought out arguments like this?
I'm just saying, why is it that it seems like this guy sidesteps all of this other crap that everyone else has to deal with? Isn't he part of the issue if the team is going into the toilet? Like, why is he exempt from any criticism? I just don't understand it. And it's like, you can't even be like, well, because he's won a bunch of championships. No, he hasn't. Well, at least he's going to get him to the World Series. He can tell you all about that. Actually, no, he hasn't. No, he can't. He's gone to the same amount of World Series as the last two guys that sat in that chair. So, which is 0. Just if you're keeping score at home. So I'm not saying that they should fire him. It's freaking May. I'm aghast though at how somebody has been able to sort of almost create this force field around themselves where they're untouchable. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why that is. Like, what did he do to become untouchable? That's all. That's my only question. Now, Andy's going to turn this into, oh, you're trying to get him fired. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just wondering, why is it that this guy can't be touched? What did he do?
Because it's not his fault that they're not playing well. And unlike, okay, so when people complain about Aaron Boone, right, you can get into like the tactical merits of that discussion, right? Like in the past, in the postseason, and shut up about the 2016 wildcard game.
No, I'm not
shut up. Just shut up.
No.
I can see your face. I can see you want to do it. I get it. Let me make my point. God. When they complain about Aaron Boone outside of individual tactical misfires, whether it's regular season, postseason, they are more complaining about a perceived culture of complacency with the Yankees. And Aaron Boone is considered a part of that because he's been part of Brian Cashman's regime for several years now. So it's more of a blanket complaint. Showalter's in year 2. They won 101 games last year. He changed, or at least helped foster, a theoretically winning culture. They stink this year because they are overloaded with veteran players, a lot of whom have gotten hurt. There's no real reason for him to be considered someone who should be on the hot seat or the wobbly chair. Did that make sense? Did I explain it to you in a way?
I understand all of that, and I grant you that point. All I'm saying, Buck Showalter in The Untouchables, very good producer, Brian. But no, that is all true. And like, this is I already said it, man. The first problem with me is that I'm listening to this sports talk radio. Okay, so I know that this is like nonsense, but that said, this is the time of year when a team looks like that, where people here freak out.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why this guy is around a halo. That's
Mark,
all. He's like, it is like the Instagram influencer of major league managers. All right. He's got a lot of followers and a lot of influence and all this stuff. What's he done? I mean, all right. Like when you look at the resume, what's the dude actually done? He's a good major league manager. Obviously, he's gotten jobs. Teams have won. But like, if we're going to look at accomplishments, it's awfully short for somebody that is supposedly a genius. That's all. So like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Grant, you want to take this one? I don't know what the deal is.
It's not Buck Showalter's fault that Max Scherzer forgot how to strike people out and is walking more batters. It's not Showalter's fault that David Peterson has gotten 6 starts and that Joey Lucchese's in the rotation. The Mets have gotten 2 starts from someone I am finding out for the first time. And I'm assuming it's not pronounced Jose Butto, but I want to believe it is. I'm sure it's Jose Butto, but still, they've gotten starts from Jose Butto. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for Jose Butto to face friend of the pod, Brandon Fat.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? It's like, this is not Showalter.
Right.
He's saying the right things in the press. He's saying play better. Like, what else is he supposed to say?
I don't know. Like, I mean, he was getting ripped on here yesterday for not being urgent enough, for not like throwing guys under the bus or whatever, which again, I grant you this. Like, this is not a logical argument that I'm making. I know that. All right? It's not logical to fire anybody in May. I know that. I'm just saying, though, fandom isn't logical. And so when you listen to the fans in this town, what I don't understand is, like, why is it that everybody should be pushed off the plank except for Buck Showalter? That's all. I'm just asking that question. Like, I just do not get what the pull is that protects him from the nonsense that everybody else seems to face. I know it's not totally his fault. I get that. No manager in that scenario can be blamed for this. That's not the nature of that particular job. I totally get it.
Mark, he's in the second year and they won 101 games. He's in the second year and they won 101 games last year.
Mark's just asking questions.
I'm just asking questions.
They won
do your own research, Mark.
games last year, and he's in the second year. Like, I do think actually it'll be on Grant next week. It should be the responsibility of one of us to show up every show and just be like, look, I got a really stupid thing I got to say.